creating a retargeting list is the next step in the process. That's what you have to do in order to reach out to your website visitors. Okay, so first of all, make sure that you have the retargeting pixel in place, and then take the next step and create a retargeting list. Now in this video, I will show you the basic process of setting up retargeting lists or website custom audiences. So log in into your Facebook Ads Manager, click on Tools, then on Audiences, then go ahead, click on Create Audience and on Custom Audience. Then click on Website Traffic because we want to create a list of people who visit your website or view specific web pages. And great, that's the place to customize the retargeting list. On top, you'll see the name of your retargeting pixel, so make sure there's a green dot right next to it. If you will see a red dot, then that means the retargeting pixel is broken. Just go ahead and fix it. And the best way to fix a broken retargeting pixel is to reinstall it. Then, this is a pretty important section, website traffic. As you can see, you have actually five different options. You can create a retargeting list that includes anyone who visits your website. People who visit specific web pages, people visiting specific web pages but not others, people who haven't visited in a certain amount of time, and then we've got custom combinations. So the only three options that are relevant for building a email list are basically the first three. Okay, so let's cover the basic concepts of each and every option. The first one, anyone who visits your website, is pretty simple. Okay, so you can create a list, and this retargeting list will capture every visitor who has been on your website. This is already pretty specific. But you can get even more specific. You can say, hey, I just want to reach out to people who visit specific web pages. So you can say you only want to reach out to people who hit your squeeze page, for example, or just people who've been to the blog section on your website, and you want to create a retargeting campaign, reach out to them, or to people who read a particular article or watched a video that's hosted on your website. Okay, so you're basically reaching out to a subsection of your website visitors. This is really, really specific. But you can get even more specific than that, and that's the third option. People visiting specific web pages but not others. As we learned before, every list building funnel, and that's a very basic structure, consists of two different pages. It's a squeeze page where the opt-in takes place, and then we have the thank you page. This is a page that every subscriber gets automatically forwarded to after he provided his email address. So you will use this section if you want to reach out to the ones who didn't opt in. Okay, so you can say, hey, I want to reach out to the ones who made it to the squeeze page but not to the thank you page, because if they would make it to the thank you page, that would mean they became your subscribers. Okay, now don't worry if you don't understand how to use the section here. That's what we'll cover in the next videos. Okay, for now it's important that you understand the very basic concept of each of every section. So the three here are relevant for building a list, and for the sake of simplicity, we'll just go ahead and select the first one and just pick a domain. Perfect. Then you can customize the size of your list. Now you can define the number of days people will remain in your audience after they visit your website. You can select 1 day, and you can even select, which is the maximum time, 180 days. Okay, now generally speaking, you want to keep a certain degree of recency here when building a list. So typically I go for something like 3 days, sometimes 5 days, but mostly 3 days. You can even go for 1 or 2 days, but the fewer days, the more specific your campaign will become. Okay, so you can go very broad here, but if you want to build a list, go for something like 3 days, as you will figure out later if we take a closer look at 3 core strategies. And then last but not least, just enter a audience name. Make sure to select something very descriptive. Okay, so that you see right away how you customize a particular website audience. So yeah, that's basically the very, very basic process of creating a retargeting list. Again, just make sure that you understood the very basic concept. okay, the things that you have to set up, what happens if you select, for example, anyone who visits your website or people who visit specific web pages. It's important that you understand you have to define the size of your retargeting list and that you have to enter a name. If you're done, just click on create audience, and then you can just go ahead and use that audience to serve ads to your website visitors, okay? So that's how you create a retargeting list. That's the basic concept. These are the steps that you will always take no matter what your campaign objective is. And once we dive deep into very specific retargeting strategies, you will find out how to customize the retargeting list to deploy the actual strategy.